Hello from Costa Rica. So I wanted to give you all the gift of movement. So this is a feel-good flow. It's great for when you don't have a lot of time. Maybe you're feeling a little stressed or a little tired, but you want some movement to kind of pick you up, make you feel better, and get you going. I'm going to be modifying a few things because I'm dealing with a broken toe right now, but I will point out when I do that so that you can do it the actual way. Unless you have a broken toe or a sore foot as well, you can maybe do it this way with me. So we're going to start in standing, the top of the mat, feet about hip distance apart. And I want you to first just kind of close your eyes. So just close your eyes, focus on your posture. Picture ears directly over shoulders, directly over hips, knees, ankles. Maybe roll the shoulders back a couple times if it feels like they're hunching forward from stress, from sitting at a computer too long, whatever it may be. One more roll and just sigh it out. On the next breath, we're going to inhale, reach up to the sky. Lengthen as much as you can, and then grab your left wrist with your right hand, lengthen even more, and then side bend over to your right. If it feels okay and you want a little more, you can add a little rotation, looking up at the sky underneath your arm, and inhale back to the center. And then just switching sides. So now holding my right wrist with my left hand, lengthening first, side bending, and either stay there or you can add that little rotation. Inhale back to the center. One more lengthen, getting as tall as you can. Maybe lifting up on your tiptoes if you don't have a broken toe. And then exhale, bend the knees as much as you want and just fold forward. You can keep the knees bent here. The purpose is to just let the back go. Just let gravity just pull us down. I like to clasp the opposite elbow here and kind of sway side to side. Again, your knees can be as bent or as straight as feels good. Couple more sways. Then we're going to let the hands go, touching down to the mat. We're going to take a step all the way back to plank. My plank's going to look a little funny. I'm going to be like a one-legged plank. But whatever kind of plank you're in, we want to make sure the hips are not high, the hips are not sagging. We want this nice straight line. So core is engaged, tailbone tucks under slightly, and shoulder blades pull down and back. We're going to hold this for 2 more breaths, and then we're going to lower down through chaturanga to the mat. You can put your knees down to do that if you want to. Here we go. We're going to take 5 counts down, really feeling the strength of our core and of our arms all the way to the mat. And then we're going to come up into a low cobra on an inhale. Just make it feel good. It doesn't have to be very high. Exhale down. For the next 2, we're going to bring our hands outside of the mat. Fingertips are pressing down into the floor, so we're kind of tenting up through the hand. We're going to inhale up. This allows you to come into a little more back extension, especially thoracic, which is what we want. And exhale down. This time I'm going to inhale and I'm going to rotate up to my right. And exhale back to the center. And then I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to inhale up to the left. Exhale back to the center. And one more just because it feels so good. Inhale up. Maybe hold there. Maybe go a little higher if it's appropriate for you. And then this time as we exhale, hands back on the mat. Push back to a child's pose position. Knees are nice and wide. Head comes down to the mat. And we're just going to kind of wiggle here, settle into that child's pose. Nice deep breath here. And again, let out a sigh. A sigh tells your nervous system that everything is okay. Slide your hands back along your body, turning the palms to the ceiling and letting the shoulders just kind of melt down around the knees. One more deep breath and out sigh here. And then engage your core muscles, And we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Head's the last thing to come up. Fingertips behind you in that tented position like we were in Cobra, and then modified camel. So we're just going to open the chest, press down into the mat behind us, and lift the chest up towards the ceiling. And then exhale our counter pose. We're going to hold the knees and go back into that C curve. So this is just some really nice spinal fluidity, spinal mobility. And then release here. Okay, we're going to come forward onto all fours and do a cat-cow, because it always feels good to do a cat-cow. So inhale for your cow, extension. Exhale, pull the abs in, round the low back, let the head drop for deep flexion. Inhale, extension. Exhale, we go into that nice flexion. Come back to flat back, and then we're going to take the right foot and just step it forward on the outside of the mat, and I'm turning my toes out so that I'm in external rotation of my hip. Then we're going to walk the hands forward a bit. We're going to take the right hand, lift it to the ceiling, and look at your fingertips. You're going to watch the fingertips through this whole flow as you bring the arm back behind you, opening, following it with your eyes, and then exhale, come around and grab the floor in front of you and pull it towards you. Inhale, open again, feeling a nice stretch in that left hip flexor. Exhale forward, maybe feeling a stretch here in the lats, in the shoulder. And last one, we'll inhale here and exhale forward. Great. Then we're going to come down to the elbows for lizard pose. If you can't go lower, you're totally welcome to stay here, but try to make it relaxed, like just sink down. And if you have the mobility, it feels really nice to just kind of surrender down here into this pose. That is known as lizard. One more deep breath here. Both hands come up. Left hand is going to stay down. Normally you would tuck your back toes under and come up into a crescent twist. I'm going to keep my foot down, but either way we're going to lift up and then just rotate the shoulder a few times to get your shoulder open and mobilized. Awesome. And then we'll bring that arm back down and we will simply switch sides. So now the left foot comes forward. It's externally rotated, so toes are out. Can come down, taking the left arm this time, lifting it up to the ceiling. Follow your fingertips with your eyes as you inhale, open, and then exhale, reaching for the floor in front of you. Inhale, open. Exhale, we reach around to the opposite corner of the mat. And last time. And then down into your lizard. So either staying up on your hands, or if you have the mobility, coming down to your forearms and melting down. If you want, you can kind of move gently from side to side a little bit here. Then we're going to come back up. I can do it regularly on this side, so I'm going to tuck my right toes. I'm going to lift up into a crescent twist, and then I'm just going to do a few nice circles with my arms. Ooh, last one. And arms down in the center. We'll come back to all fours. So we're again here in our quadruped position, and we're going to do a little bit of quadruped swimming or bird dog. So abs are engaged, should be a nice flat back, not arched, not rounded, just flat. Engage the core, slide the right arm and the left leg out, and then lift without arching the back, without overlifting the leg. So I could set a glass of wine or water or whatever you drink on your back and come back in and then switch sides. So we'll lengthen and then lift. One more, two more each side, I lied. So go forward and we'll lift and lower. This is a great exercise because it works hip extension, scapular stability, core strength, back extensors, and balance and proprioception. So it's kind of an all-in-one. On this last one, we're going to take it into that stretch. So bend the back knee, reach around with your thumb facing the ceiling to open and externally rotate the shoulder. Hold on to your foot, your ankle, whatever you can reach, and then push your foot into your hand into your foot, and let that open your shoulder for an awesome stretch. Gently release, come back to your bird dog and down. Same thing on the other side. So we lengthen first, then we lift, then we bend the knee, reach around with the shoulder externally rotated, so thumb is up, hold the foot, push the foot into the hand into the foot, and let that open your left shoulder for a nice stretch. And then we'll release it. We'll come down, and then we're just going to sit back and go right into our little Pilates flow section. Long sit position, sitting up nice and tall, and we will start with a roll down. So arms are out in front. I want you to draw the abdominals in, find your C curve, and roll down one vertebrae at a time with as much control as you can. Inhale, reach the body nice and long. I like to circle around and then exhale, come back up. So a little bit different than our traditional roll up or roll down. When you get to the top C curve, let's then inhale and circle those arms around again. So just adding that extension to the deep flexion, more of that spinal fluidity. Draw the abs in, roll down one vertebrae at a time for that deep flexion. Inhale as we circle around, maybe even extending the spine, and then abs pull you into that deep C curve to roll you up with control. When you get to the top, inhale, stretch it, reach it around, and this will be our last one. We're going to roll down, feeling those vertebrae separate. And once you get down to the bottom, bend your knees. I'm going to scoot forward a little bit more so you can see. And we're just going to start with our favorite, wonderful, good feeling pelvic curl. So palms are down, feet are about shoulder distance apart, abs engaged. We're going to take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, contract our deep core muscles, tuck our tailbone, and roll up one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. It's the first one in this position, so we may not go very high. Inhale at the top, and then exhale, start rolling down from the thoracic spine, feeling each thoracic vertebrae into the lumbar, into the sacrum, and into the tailbone. And again, exhale, roll. Feeling that nice spinal articulation. Inhale at the top, exhale, roll down. We're going to add arms for this next one, which I think feels really nice and lengthening. So on an exhale, we'll still roll, but this time the arms will go with. Trying to keep the rib cage controlled though. But a nice stretch back, feel all that beautiful length. Use those glutes to lift. Keep the arms where they are and roll down one vertebrae at a time. You might feel that nice kind of traction and space in between each vertebrae, and bring the arms back down. And we'll do it that way one more time. So exhale, roll everything up, maybe coming up your highest point this time. Exhale, roll it down one vertebrae at a time. Great. From here, let's just go straight into a couple chest lifts. So clasp the fingers. I like to place them behind the head and the neck to support the head and the neck. I'm going to just scoot forward a little bit more. And then we're going to do just a traditional chest lift. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, we're going to lift up. Inhale, hold, and exhale, lower. Two more like that. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold, exhale, lower. And last one like this, we're going to add on. So exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower. Adding on a bit here to make it just more challenging. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach for the knees. Exhale, try to reach up past the knees. Stay that high as the hands come back behind the head. And then exhale, lower down. Just two more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale, reach higher. Inhale, stay that high. Exhale, roll down. And last one, exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale, reach higher. Inhale, hands behind the head. And exhale, roll down. Going right into the 100 prep before we think about it too much. I'm going to start with my legs in tabletop to show you modification. Start with the arms back. Make sure your rib cage doesn't flare, so we're keeping our abs engaged. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Stick with that or add your legs. So as you exhale and lift, we reach the legs long. And inhale, lower. And reach the legs long. And inhale, lower. And reach the legs long. Hold here or go to your modified position. And we inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just going to do 50. 2, 3, 4, 5. Since it's a short little class. 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Hands can always go behind the head if it's bothering your neck. And last one. Stay high. Bend the knees and come down. Okay, the next little section, we're going to go into single leg stretch, double leg stretch, and crisscross. If your neck is bothering you, a wonderful modification that many of you know from doing my courses and other maybe learning elsewhere is that you can always hold the corners of the mat. Nice little support, little hammock for your neck, and you can do all of the different moves. So pick your poison, whether you want the mat or not. We're going to start lifted, and we're going to start with single leg stretch. So, pressing down on the knee to get that co-activation, co-contraction. One more each leg. And hold here, and we go right into double leg stretch. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And 3, we're only going to do 5. And 4. And 5. Hands behind the head, and we go right into crisscross. So another demonstration of how that can work, right? If your neck is angry at this point, you can still get a great abdominal workout with supporting the neck. Last one. Holding it center and lowering it down. A couple little circles, relaxing there for a moment. Circles one direction, reverse direction. We're basically drawing a figure 8 in the sky or on the ceiling with our knees. And then we're in a perfect position to do a roll up. So let's hold on to the knees, engage the abs, and let's do a couple little roll ups. Feels good on the spine, hopefully. One more, and we're gonna hold it up and go right into just a little teaser, just for fun. And then bring the arms back. Hopefully you won't have to move back like I did there. And we're gonna come into a modified back support, or what's called table pose in yoga. So fingertips are facing me, abs are engaged, and I'm just gonna lift my hips up. But since this is a feel good flow, if it feels good to you to let your neck go, let your neck go. Press down through your hands to open across your shoulders. Go ahead and squeeze your glutes a bit. This does use glutes. And then we're gonna come back down. We're gonna do one more. You can either stick with that modified back support or go into the full back support. So we'll inhale, lift. Same thing with the head. It can either be in the classical position, or for today, if it feels good, let it go and open your chest even more. And then slowly come down. Oh, I like to counterpose that. So let's come here, just lifting up and then just reaching forward for a nice stretch. From this stretch, let's roll it back down for just a little bit of glute work before we go into our cooling down stretches. Okay, let's scoot forward again. So we are now going to place a little bit different glute work, similar to shoulder bridge, but we're going to do unilateral to get the glutes. So I'm going to place my right heel on my left thigh in a figure 4 position. And then I'm going to lift up into a bridge position and tap back down. So I lift my left hip and down, using my arms as well. So we're getting a little triceps. 4 and 5. We'll hold number 5 up. Then we're going to extend the leg to the ceiling, keep the hip lifted, bring it down and up. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hold it up, bring it out to the side and back in without moving the pelvis. It's getting my glute med and max on this side. 2 more. Last one and last thing. Come back to the figure 4, sit the hips down, relift, extend. So we figure 4, dip, lift, extend, figure 4, dip, lift, extend. Last 2. And here, bend the knee, set it down, relift the hips if they drooped. Left heel on the right thigh, and we do 5 figure 4 lifts. And 2, so just a little bit of glute activation. 3, 4, and 5. And then we hold it up, left leg comes up, and we're gonna come down and up, keeping the pressure down in that right heel to keep the right glute lifted up off the mat. 2 more. Hold it up and bring it out and in and out, trying to keep the right leg perfectly still. 3, 4, and 5. Then we bring it back to the figure 4, dip, lift, extend. 4. So this gives you some nice hip opening as well as glute work with that figure 4 stretch. And last one, and down. Okay. Holding those knees and a couple little rolls. 2, always feels so good. And 3, you can add one more little teaser if you'd like. And then we're gonna cross the legs, come back, come into a prone position for some back extension. So we can just come down to our prone position. I love the goalpost position because it's so good for strengthening our shoulders and learning to activate our lower traps, but relax our upper traps. So I'm gonna be down in the goalpost position. Arms are at 90, 90, right? So 90 degrees of shoulder flexion, 90 degrees of elbow flexion. We're here. We're gonna do, of course, our little chin nod first to set our deep neck flexors. Draw the shoulder blades down and back to set the lower traps. Abs are engaged, tailbone's tucked so I'm not overusing my lumbar spine. And then I'm gonna just lift up as high as I can with my thoracic spine. Notice I'm looking down, so I'm not doing a neck lift. Then I come back down. Just 3 of those, holding for 10 seconds. So again, the sequence was chin nod, shoulder blades down and back to fire those lower traps, and then use my mid-back muscles to lift my arms and my torso without straining my neck. I can still move my neck freely. I'm not using my upper traps. And lower down. Last one, chin nod, shoulder blades down and back. Float everything up. This one we're gonna hold up and we're gonna add a little excitement. So we're gonna reach forward to our Y position, and then as we pull back to the W, lift higher. Y, W, Y. This one does use the lower back a little, but I'm trying to really focus all the effort on the mid back. 2 more. Last one. This is all about up back endurance, back extensor endurance. So now I'm gonna reach my arms forward. I'm gonna lift my legs and I'm gonna go swimming. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, and last one. Hold the last one up, Superwoman or Superman. Bring the arms back, clasp the hands, what we call Shalabhasana in yoga. Really nice shoulder opener, lengthener, back extensor, and release. Press back. One more time to a nice little child's pose. Just a couple little finishing stretches here, a little more rotation. So you're in your quadruped position once again. Let's do a couple cat-cows. Inhale, extend. Exhale, flex and round. One more. For that hip mobility, from this position, take your left leg and just lift it up and make 3 circles in one direction, like you're drawing a big circle with your kneecap, and then reverse it. You can also do this from the downward dog position or the upstretch position. I'm just not because of my foot, but it's great for hip mobility. Either way, set it down. Now to get the shoulder on that side, we're gonna thread the needle. So we're gonna inhale, open, follow your hand with your eyes to get that thoracic and cervical rotation, and then reach through to stretch that shoulder and mobilize that spine. One more time, inhale, reach. Exhale, thread. This time, if you want a little more, you can take your top arm, place it on your left hip, and use that leverage to open your chest even more towards the ceiling, really getting into that thoracic spine. Set that hand back down, come back to all fours, and we'll do all that on the other side. So first the hip, knee lifts a bit, and we're just gonna make 3 big circles, one direction. You might hear some pops. You might hear my pops, reverse direction. Last one, set it back down. Right hand comes up, we follow it with our eyes, and then we thread the needle, trying to get down onto our shoulder, if that feels okay. One more, inhale up. Exhale, reach through. And again, this time, if you want a little bit more, take that top hand, place it on your right hip, and use that leverage to open more to the ceiling. Hard to talk in this position. And then both hands down, back to all fours. We're gonna just come to a seated position, cross-legged if you can do that. And we're gonna inhale up. Exhale, you're gonna rotate to the right and place your left hand on your right knee. Push down into that knee to lengthen your spine, and then try to rotate a little bit more to the right. As you come back to the center, bring that right arm over the top and place it on the opposite knee. And then we're gonna round forward and stretch in between the shoulder blades. This is one of my favorites. This just feels so darn good. And then back to the center. Keep the right hand now on the left knee. Take the left hand, lengthen it up, and rotate towards the back, pulling yourself into some thoracic and cervical rotation. And then inhale, reach that arm up, circle it around to between the shoulder blades one more time as you round into that deep C curve, stretching out the muscles in between your shoulder blades that we just worked, stretching your back, stretching your neck. One more time, we'll come up. Inhale, open, lengthening through that spine. Exhale down. I hope that made you feel as good as that little routine makes me feel.